You guys make me laugh sometimes. I get the comment, like, a few times where it's like, you're like the little space freckles. And I'm like, oh my god. Honestly, compliment, thank you. I will accept that I will accept that. That is great, thank you. She is amazing. Go follow her. I also get the comment, your videos are relaxing. Really? For reals? Wow. I thank you. I think that's not a sentence. Thank you. Okay. Today's fan fiction. Actually, that's so weird because I have chaotic energy comment, and then I get, you're so relaxing. So it's an interesting mix. But, I'm all here for that. I'm here for that. Okay. Today's fan fiction, I was so scared to ask. Honestly, I was scared to ask. The writer, the author, if I could read this, because I followed them. They were the first person that I followed on Tumblr. I've been following them for a year now, and I've read not everything. I've read almost everything that they have written, and I have liked every single thing that they have put out. So, they're amazing. They're very talented. Please follow them. They definitely deserve it. Love them. They were so nice, too, because I was like, hi, Can I read your fan fiction? It's totally okay if you say no. I completely understand. It's just, can I read on my channel? I wanna share the amazingness. Is that a word? The awesomeness of this fan fiction with the world, or my subscribers, because they deserve that. They deserve to know your amazing writing. And then they were like. They're like, oh my gosh, yeah, thank you so much for the compliment, and yeah, I love when people do this, and I'm like, oh my god, you're so nice. So I'm here, I'm reading this, and I am digging myself a hole. I can't do British accents, and I did Fred Weasley last video, and now I'm doing Tom Holland, who also is British. Oh my god. We'll see how that goes. Not good. But this is like, who watched the Caught, the Todoroki X-Listener? This is kind of like this. This gives me the same vibes. I'm kind of like fangirling and cringing at myself while reading this. So, yeah, good luck, guys. Give your heart a pat on the back. I can't make sense today. It's okay. We're fine. We're vibing. Okay, let's get into this. I'll see you at the end of the video. Mwah! Sorry, that was an aggressive kiss. Mwah. There you go. Hello everyone, welcome back to BBC Radio 1. I'm Tom Holland from Spider-Man Far From Home. Tom said sprightly into the camera. And I'm regretting being here, you said in the same tone, making Tom laugh. She's only kidding. Tom gave you a fond look before looking back at the camera. Is she though? You said with a crunched nose. And we're doing the plank all over me challenge. Tom pointed to the camera like he was a game show host. And I'm Elle from Venom, you lamely added with equally lame jazz hands. What is this game? Like, how do you even play? It's called Plank All Over Me. I plank over you while you ask me questions, and then we switch, Tom explained while the crew got the cameras and microphones into position. Seems pretty intense for a game between strangers, you commented as you rested your hands on your hips. It was true, you've never met Tom before, but you were both in the Morrow Field, and BBC Radio 1 contacted you asking if you would like to do an interview together. While you thought you'd be sitting on a couch next to him while someone asked you questions, BBC Radio 1 had something else in mind. I can assure you, we won't be strangers after this. Tom smiled cheekily and gave you a little nudge. Damn, if he wasn't cute, his British accent and boyish face was enough to knock you off your game. You had to remind yourself that the cameras were on you, and you couldn't let anything show. What if I can't think of questions? You asked the crew. There's a little card with questions on it. A man behind the camera handed you a small white card filled with questions. You scanned the card and nodded. This can't end well. You look up at Tom and laughed. Like, you're gonna get my elbow full force into your clavicle, and there's nothing I can do to stop that. That seems like a reasonable price to pay to have a pretty lady on top of me. Tom shrugged, then squeezed his eyes shut. I'm sorry, did not mean it like that. God, we've just met and I'm already blowing it. Don't sweat it. You smiled assuringly at him and brought all your hair to one side. And I can already tell there's going to be way too many innuendos. You chuckled as you got to the ground between the microphones. You laid straight up and gave Tom a nod. Tom stood over you lordly and gave you a thumbs up. "I'm coming down," he told you. "Timber," you said weakly. You immediately grimaced. "I'm so sorry. Oh my god, cut that out of the video. Leave it." Tom pointed at the camera and gave a fake stern look. "It was cute." "Are you coming or not?" You asked him, dying from the anticipation and already blushing over him calling what you said cute. "This is off to a fantastic start." Tom laughed and he straddled your waist with his knees. He had a shy, concentrated smile on his face as he rested his forearms on either side of your head. He cradled his face with your arms and clasped his fingers together at the top of your head. You held your breath as he put his legs back and pushed himself up. Finally, he lowered himself onto you and stopped just mere inches from your face. His warm breath tickled your face, making you giggle. "Oh, don't do that, love. It won't last a minute," Tom said softly, only for you to hear. "Sorry," you said with a cheeky grin. He was like a Monet painting, pretty from afar and intricate from up close, and bursting with detail. You took notice of the way his one eyebrow went vertical instead of horizontal. You also took notice of how that was completely adorable. His hair was curlier than it was on screen, and soft strands of it brushed your forehead. He smelled like Head and Shoulders and Axe, and maybe a little bit of heaven. "First question, what happened to your eyebrow?" you asked him. "It wasn't on the card, but you were curious." "That's my wolf side, and I'll never tell," Tom said while he pierced you with his gaze. You wondered how long you were gonna last under this man. "All right." You bit your tongue between your teeth, making Tom let out a hot breath. You felt his belt buckle touch your tummy every time he laughed. "What did I just say?" "No laughing," Tom reminded you. "Do you want me to crush you?" "A little," you thought. "But that wasn't a laugh. I bit my tongue so that I wouldn't laugh," you protested. "It's still making me weak, and a man cannot be weak when he is planking," Tom declared, making it really hard for you not to laugh again. He looked at the card and kept going. "What's the best advice you've ever been given?" you asked him, innocent enough. "Probably when my mate Harrison told me to go on BBC Radio 1 because the cute girl from Venom was gonna be there," Tom answered with a lopsided grin. You bit your bottom lip. "I'm pretty sure flirting isn't part of the game rules," you teased. "Rules are made to be broken, love." Tom struggled to give you a wink. "Okay, if you're cutting out her saying timber, then you're cutting out me saying that." "But it was cute," you said in a deep British accent to mock him. "And I'm pretty sure this is live radio." "Aren't you supposed to be asking me questions?" Tom said in a strained voice. The plank was getting to him, but he was determined to go on. "Oh, right." You laughed and looked back at the card. "What's your favorite word?" "I quite like your name, to be honest. I'll say that's my favorite word," Tom said. If his face wasn't red before, it was red now. He wasn't usually this forward, but all bets were off when you were planking over a cute girl. You had to bite your tongue again and forced yourself to look indifferent to his comment. "Such a flirt," you shook your head. "What scares you?" "The thought of crushing you with my huge muscly body," Tom joked. His breath fanned your face again. Not that you were complaining. "Did you leave that body at home?" you teased him. Tom's mouth opened in shock. "Ugh," he said and adjusted his position, closing his arms tighter around you. "What? You wanted questions," he pointed out. "I did. I have to say, though, you're a pretty good distraction to the ache in my biceps," Tom admitted. "That's what every girl wants to hear," you said in an overdramatic, dreamy tone. "And they are pretty nice biceps." "You can feel them when we're done," Tom said with a weak smirk. He was really feeling the pain now. "You did not just say that!" You covered your face with your hand, mostly to hide your blush. You couldn't move the hand back to the ground in fear of brushing him and making him fall over, so you kept it flush against your chest. I'm sorry, Tom laughed. "It's not me, it's the plank." Getting back to the game, if you could switch suits with any superhero, who would it be, you asked? "Probably Iron Man, just so I could go to the bathroom on set," Tom answered with a breathy chuckle. Every laugh sent a wave of mint straight to your face. How long have I been going? 4 minutes and a half. You took a glance at the clock. You're quivering. You're making me quiver, Tom said lowly. My deepest apologies, you said sarcastically as you stared innocently into his eyes. I think I could find it in my heart to forgive you, Tom said again, only for you to hear. Thank God, you laughed and met his eyes. Behind the obvious strain from holding the plank, you saw a fondness. In a more sincere voice, you said, I wouldn't want you to be mad at me. I could never be mad at you, darling, Tom said with equal sincerity. Though, I'm going to get a bit cross if you don't ask me another question. Shoot, right, sorry, how often do you people watch? You asked the first question you saw on the card. How often do I what, love? Tom wheezed. People watch, you repeated. Like, observe other people and their behavior in a non-serial killer-like way. Oh. Tom blew a breath out on your face and thought. You could see the veins in his neck beginning to bulge. Not often. There's this one girl I like to watch, though, Tom answered quickly, followed by, in a non-serial killer-like way. Lucky girl, you commented, feeling a twinge of jealousy stab at your heart. He was being so flirty and then dropped that on you. Why do you watch her? Because she takes my breath away, Tom said roughly as he struggled to breathe. He squeezed his eyes tightly to make himself last. Literally, he huffed. How cute, you fake smiled. Do you think she's watching this now? I know for a fact that she is, Tom said with a laugh. How long have I been going now? Almost 6 minutes, you told him. How long are you going for? I'm going to make this last as long as I possibly can, since I will never be in this position again, Tom said with a determination in his weak voice. Whoa! You let out a surprised laugh. Who knew Spider-Man was so dirty? I didn't mean it like that, Tom defended. I've just enjoyed our time together. You've enjoyed the bulging veins, red face, and aching muscles. You raised an eyebrow. No, I've enjoyed being asked questions by a lovely girl beneath me. Tom let out another ragged breath. I can do this all day. I think the veins on your forehead might pop before you get the chance, you taunted. Tom grunts, really feeling the pain now. Just keep asking me questions. It helps. Does it? That's a question. You looked at the camera, knowing full well you were ignoring the card. Yes, you soothe me, Tom said through clenched teeth. He didn't seem very soothed. Okay, what would you rate 10 out of 10? You asked, getting back to the card. You and Spider-Man Far From Home on Blu-ray and DVD now. He shot a wink at the camera and pounded his fist against the ground. He wasn't gonna last much longer. What do you wish you knew more about? You're going rapid-fire questions now. Again, I'm going to have to go with you. Tom laughed half-heartedly. These questions are too easy. What is the best way to start your day? You asked. And you can't say me. Well, it would be you, but for now, it's tea, Tom answered. For now? You asked softly. Next question, Tom wheezed. What's the most interested work of art you've ever seen? You read from the card. The Kiss by Gustav Klimt, Tom said. Really? You asked. No, it's you. Tom laughed. Tom! Your eyes widened. He was definitely flirting now. Are you like this with all the girls? Not even close. Tom gave a labored laugh as if the question was ridiculous. Just the pretty ones in Venom. Where would you spend all your time if you could? You asked, ignoring the comment for the time being. Right here, Tom said before collapsing into you. He fell gently and buried his face into your neck as he cradled your head with his arms. He breathed heavily in your ear for a moment before rolling onto his side and propping himself up. You shifted a little so you could look at him. He was all red in the face and had labored breathing. He gave you a tired laugh and looked up at the clock. How long did I go? 6.5 minutes, which means Tom Holland officially holds the BBC Radio 1 Plank All Over Me record, a crew member answered. My mom would be so proud. Tom pretended to wipe a tear. How do you feel? You nudged him, both of you still on the ground. Never better, Tom said out of breath. Might want to feel my biceps now since I just had a record-breaking workout. You pursed your lips in temptation before reaching over and squeezing his arm. He watched your face carefully as it twisted into an impressed expression. It was your first time feeling a guy's bicep, thinking it was a move only used by quarterbacks in movies. Well, damn, you laughed shyly and looked into his eyes. You jumped a bit when you saw he was already staring at you. Your turn, love, he wiggled his eyebrows. I'm going to last 2 seconds, you said to him as you got up, holding out your hand to help him up as well. Nonsense, I'm sure you're strong, Tom said as he took your hand. You both realized he didn't have to get up and he quickly let go in embarrassment. I can't wait to prove you wrong by pile diving into your carpet, you chuckled, adjusting your outfit before getting into position. I can't wait for that either, Tom said as he got to the ground and laid straight. He wiggled down between the 2 microphones and held his hands up towards you. Whenever you're ready, darling. Here we go. You laughed nervously as you took his hand. You used it to steady yourself as you stepped over him and stood between his legs. You slowly got down on your knees and placed them on either side of his waist. You looked at him hesitantly and he gave you a soft smirk. Ready? He asked. As I'll ever be, you said. You placed your arms on either side of his head and propped yourself up. You straightened your legs and lowered yourself onto your elbows. Immediately, you felt the ache go through your body. Okay, ask away, you said. Are you seeing anyone? Tom began. What? Why is that your first question? You asked, already feeling your arms and legs weaken. It's on the card. Tom shrugged. He didn't even have the card in his hand. It is not. You let out a breathy laugh. I looked at that card for 6.5 minutes. Don't forget. Fine. I thought about it when I was hovering over your perfect face for nearly 7 minutes. Tom said with an emphasis on his time. Now answer. I've seen more of you today than I'd like to admit. You dodged his question to roll him up. You could see much more of me if you want, Tom quipped. Oh? You said with a raised eyebrow. Not like that, damn it. I can't stop with the innuendos, Tom scolded himself. It's okay, you shook your head, making your hair fall on his chest. I think it's funny. And no, I'm not seeing anyone. Okay, good. Tom felt better at your words. Hey, Tom, you spoke up? Yeah? He asked. Are you gonna ask me anything else? You wondered. He wasn't keeping up his end of the game. I kind of found out all I needed to know, Tom joked. Tom! You said, struggling to keep yourself up. You were determined not to fall over after only being asked one question. Fine. What's your favorite bug? Tom asked. What? You wheezed. I don't know. A beetle? Okay then, who's your favorite beetle? Tom continued. None of these questions were on the cards, and you both knew it. John, you huffed. Was that off script? I'm the one asking the questions, darling. Tom said nonchalantly. Well, keep asking. I can't feel my legs, you grimaced. Ready to give up? Tom asked. Technically, it was a question. Never, you wheezed again. Your hair is in my mouth. Tom laughed as strands of your hair fell into his open mouth. Sorry. You giggled and tried to flip your hair behind your shoulder, which proved to be impossible. Tom laughed at your failure. I got you, love, he said softly as he gently tucked your hair behind your ear, giving you a clear view of his face. I can't do this, you said, not even referring to the plank anymore. You couldn't have Tom Holland flirt with you on live radio without screaming. Yes, you can, Tom said assertively. You're almost at 2 minutes. That's it, you groaned. It felt like 2 hours. Keep going, I'm not ready for this to end, Tom cheered you on. I swear to God, Tom, I'll give us both rug burn. See if I care, you threatened. You wouldn't, Tom said with a cocky smirk. Who's your favorite man under the mask? I kinda have a thing for Peter Parker, you said through deep breaths. Peter Parker might have a thing for you, Tom muttered. I bet I look so red right now. You were beginning to get self-conscious being this close to Tom. You look beautiful, Tom dismissed your concern. There wasn't a question, you pointed out. Fine. Who is the most famous person to slide into your DMs? Tom got back to the card. Your mom, you said through clenched teeth. Nikki, Tom asked with a laugh. How dare she? She got game, you panted. If you had to date an actor in the MCU, who would it be? Tom questioned. You knew that wasn't on the card either. I'd just like to point out the very cute, very single MCU actor in this very room. That's quite convenient, isn't it? I don't have to look too far. You smiled, regaining a bit of strength. Answer! You told me your favorite bug, for Pete's sake. Tom grew more impatient with every passing second. I guess you, since you're already underneath me, you said sheepishly. You knew the answer before you even finished asking. Tom began. If you make a sexual joke, I will body slam you. You cut him off, knowing where he was going with that statement. Tom nodded in defeat. Not a sentence I expected to hear today, he quipped. How much longer until 3 minutes? You asked in your strained voice. 10 seconds, a crew member answered. The crew who, by the way, was watching two people fall in love in real time, right in front of them. I can't do it. Your arms felt like fire and were beginning to shake. Yes, you can, Tom urged you to keep going. My arms feel like spaghetti, you panted. Arms are heavy, Mom, spaghetti, Tom said in a positive tone. You laughed and felt your arms shake harder. If I couldn't laugh under you, you can't make me laugh when I'm over you. You scolded. Fair. 3 more seconds, Tom told you. 3, 2, 1. I'm out. You collapsed onto his chest and laid there for a moment. You felt Tom's hands on the small of your back, rubbing comforting circles with his hands as your heart pounded against his chest. You rested against his chest as you caught your breath, feeling your arms slowly regain their strength. You picked up your head and rested your chin on his chest, giving him a tired smile. He returned the smile and tucked your hair behind your ear again. All good? He asked with a lazy smile. I will be, you assured him. As soon as my legs regain feeling. Here, I'll help you, Tom offered. He rested his hands on your hips and shifted you off of him. He then scooped you up and gently set you on your feet. He let you lean on him until your aching legs were steady. Your time was 3 minutes and 1 second, Elle, a crew member told you. Trust me, I felt every second. You gulped, your mouth feeling suddenly dry. So did I. Tom smiled. Nice job. He held up your hand a little higher than you could reach. You took a step towards him to get closer, instantly regretting it. Your legs trembled and Tom had to catch you to steady yourself. Oh great, Tom Holland made me unable to walk for the next week. You rolled your eyes before realizing your own innuendo. You put your hand over your mouth in embarrassment. Also not a sentence I expected to hear. Tom laughed with happy shock. Not a sentence I expected to say, darling. You threw his own word back in his face. He gave you a mock offended face. As fun as it was, that's all the time we have here for today. Thank you Tom and Elle for joining us at BBC Radio 1. The host of the show said into the microphone. Thanks for having us, Tom said sincerely. Very, very sincerely. I'm thankful, but my arms are not, you joked. You thanked the crew one last time and went off to your respective dressing rooms. You rubbed your aching arms and gathered all your things before hearing a knock at your door. You opened it, expecting to see your manager, but instead found a very bashful-looking Tom Holland. So, Tom began with a hesitant smile. There was one question I didn't get to ask that I am dying to know. And what would that be? You asked, leaning against the doorway with a smirk. Tom looked at you, feeling a surge of confidence from your smile, and loosened his shoulders. Oh, the things you did to him. Will you go out with me? He said quickly before the confidence left him. Maybe it was just me, but I was really feeling it back there in the interview, and I felt like you were too. I hope it wasn't just me, Tom said in a hopeful manner. Please say it wasn't just me. That depends, you said coyly. You'd have to answer a question of mine first. Which is? Tom asked, bouncing a little on his heel. Did you think I'd ever say no? Oh my god! Okay. This fanfiction, you guys, I've never, well maybe I fangirled a little. Well, okay, I fangirled a lot during this recording. This made my heart go boom, 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 you know? oh my god. And there were so many awkward moments for me where I was like, I can't believe I have to say this. Oh my god. Like, whoever says, where's the line? Hold on, I'm going through the script real quick. It was like something, it was Tom Holland, oh, I can't walk for like, thanks to Tom Holland or something, and I was like, oh my god, no, those words should never leave my lips, but they did. It's fine. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This video took the whole day, so there will not be another video this week. This is the only video coming out. I am sorry, but yeah, time, and it's finals week for me, so yay. So many tests. I want to be done with school, but I also don't want to like work in an office, you know? So I'm kind of like, it's a mixed feeling. Okay, I gotta go because my mom is kind of waiting for me, so I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for watching this video. I love you. Mwah. And stay tuned for the next few parts. Okay, bye. So long. Farewell. I'll see you in the morning. Who watches that movie? That's a good movie. Wait, which movie is that? That's like, I'm sorry, I keep rambling. Goodbye. Have a nice day. Yeah.